How do you reduce a national conversation and national rage by people of Kenya to an ethnic profiling? Mr. Murkomen, you think Kenyans are fools, or you think they reason like you? This government is just a Tower of Babel. Why can't you listen to the people of Kenya on what they want? They are the taxpayers. Kenyans are saying that they have reached an elastic limit and a breaking point. The 1 week strike suspension is just a decoy. There will be no negotiations. I urge the transport sector and Kenyans to continue agitation until there is justice. It is no longer sustainable to run many businesses in Kenya. Business people should not be used as conduits by cartels to make breaking profits. Instead of William Ruto sitting down in the office to work, he is hopping from one flight to the next, attending international conferences that can be attended by directors in their ministries. William Ruto and his government, please swallow your pride and listen to the people of Kenya. You will not look weak, although you are. Look at the mirror. You may not like what you see, but it's the reality of the matter. To the commander of goons that are destroying property and harassing Kenyans, Lemo Domoro and Kipchumba Murkomen, please recall your goons and stop harassing the people of Kenya as they go about their businesses in Kenya. Yesterday, Kenyans, and especially private motorists, were harassed, extorted, and their property looted by your goons. Mr. Remo Domoro, please speed dial your goons to get back to where they have come from. I urge Kenyans not to give up, and William Ruto must stop from sucking the last pint of blood from struggling Kenyans. He has crippled our health sector, our education sector, our agriculture, our international relations, are the poorest, our healthcare, and now the whole country is stalled. It is not only the transport sector under siege, the entire fabric of our society is jinxed. Do not push the people of Kenya further. We do not incite Kenyans, we listen to them and speak their mind. I've issued this statement because it's the right thing for me to do. We are facing a situation in our country where the representatives of the people, the senators and members of the National Assembly, have been bought and compromised by William Ruto and no longer speak for the people of Kenya. The opposition, as it was known then, the ODM, was also swallowed by government to the broad-based government. And as such, there is nobody to speak for the people of Kenya. I have found it my civic duty at any one time to speak out to the issues that bedevil our republic. I have seen the CS Interior from time to time trying to condemn me for speaking out. The government of William Ruto is allergic to the truth, and Rigiji has decided, urged by the people of Kenya and encouraged by the people of Kenya, to continue speaking the truth at all times. That is why, in addition to my statement that I have read, I need to expound a few issues. That the real issue that faces our country in matters fuel is conflict of interest and state capture. The G2G arrangement is a business arrangement by William Ruto through Gulf Energy to fleece the people of Kenya. And the issue is not even the taxes. The issue is not the transportation costs. The issue is the landed cost of fuel in Kenya. As we speak today, the landed cost of oil in matters petrol is 117 Kenya shillings, and diesel is 167 shillings. We have information that is confirmed that in a G2G arrangement that has been negotiated with the companies that are selling oil to Kenya, in the landed cost of petrol, William Ruto pockets 30 shillings per litre, and in diesel he pockets 40 shillings per litre. This is what we need to discuss. So, although the matatu owners have agreed to have some negotiation, it must start from there. That William Ruto must agree to forego the 30 shillings per litre for petrol and 40 litres of per every litre of diesel. And once that is done, these prices will start going down. They'll start going down. Again, we have indicated that we must remove VAT to zero. Again, that will bring the cost of fuel down. Again, we must remove 7 shillings that has been added to the 18 shillings to make it 25. That will make it go down. The oil marketers are getting 24 shillings per litre. They also must agree to go by half to 12 shillings. If all these measures are implemented, the cost of fuel will come down. And it must start with William Ruto. It is him, as the president of Kenya, who must agree to be the leader of Kenya and not a businessman. And he must agree to forego the profit he has negotiated with the companies that are selling us this oil. We also must come not just the issue of cost, but the quality of fuel. Ideally, the fuel that we are supposed to buy at this price is supposed to have 5% milligrams per litre of fuel in matter sulfur. But what has been brought has 60 milligrams of sulfur per litre. This is bad fuel. And I must warn the people of Kenya that the vehicles, the engines that manufacturers have come up with, Euro 4, Euro 5, Euro 6, the way those engines have been designed and manufactured, they cannot take bad fuel. And I want to warn the people of Kenya, even if these prices are brought down, they must demand that this bad fuel must be removed from the market, because these vehicles will have a knock in a few weeks. Again, in terms of plant and machinery for our factories, this bad fuel will spell doom for their life. It will be brought down to a few months. So much as we are saying we want the cost of fuel to come down, all owners of vehicles, private, matatus, owners of plant and equipment must demand the removal of this bad fuel from the market, because it will give us problems as we go along. Let me say that we should not be told that we are having a challenge because of the Strait of Hormuz. Our fuel does not come from Iran. It doesn't go through the Strait of Hormuz. Our fuel is sold by ADNOC in Dubai and Saudi Aramco in Saudi Arabia. That is where the fuel is processed, and therefore this story that we are having a challenge because of the Strait of Hormuz is hot air. The issue, as I have explained, is that William Ruto has loaded very big profit in the landed cost of fuel, and that is the way to deal with it. Let me go to the issues of Turkana that would have sorted out the issues of petroleum in our country. William Ruto and Gulf Energy forced Tullow Oil to surrender the production and prospecting of oil in Turkana to them at a cost of 120 million US dollars, which is equivalent to 15.6 billion Kenyan shillings. And that is why they have added so much profit in the landed cost of fuel to enable them pay this 15.6 billion to acquire full rights in the oil in Turkana. Gulf Oil and William Ruto created a false debt with the tool of oil, that they are supposed to pay 350 billion for full ownership, which is a lie. The final price was 120 million US dollars, which is equal to 15.6 billion. The US dollars 250 billion, equivalent to 350 Kenya shillings, billion shillings, is a lie. And this is where the catch is, that in 10 years, every barrel of oil gotten from Turkana will cost 100 US dollars. $85 will go towards paying this forced debt. Effectively, that money will go to William Ruto and Gulf Energy. You are left with 15 shillings, which will be divided 75% to the national government, equivalent to 1,440 shillings. 20% to the county government of Turkana, equivalent to 384 shillings, and 5% to the Turkana community, that is 96 shillings. It's pure theft of a natural resource given by God to the people of Turkana, by William Ruto and Gulf Energy, to the disadvantage of the people of Turkana. Unfortunately, the people's representative, the members of parliament and the governor, with the exception of the senator, have been bought and compromised, and they cannot speak. We must therefore speak for the people of Turkana. These oil reserves have the capacity to produce enough money to change the lives of the people of Turkana, to build good schools, build good roads, sink dams, get water for irrigation and for domestic purposes, and change the lives of the people of Turkana forever. But all this is being stolen by William Ruto to the disadvantage of the people of Turkana, and he has compromised the representatives of the people of Turkana. The people of Turkana must say no, and I'm urging the people of Turkana to stop further exploration and exploitation of their reserves of oil in Turkana until proper negotiations have been done and the people of Turkana get the maximum out of the proceeds of the oil that is in Turkana given to them by God to change their lives. And I would urge the people of Turkana to stop this exploration until there is change of government next year, where they can sit down with the new administration and negotiate a good package that will change the lives of the people of Turkana. It cannot be that a natural resource given free of charge by God to the people of Turkana will benefit William Ruto and Gulf Energy. It's unacceptable. And the people of Turkana must say no. And I urge them not to fear. They must be like the people of Ikolomani in Kakamega. When William Ruto got some people to go and harvest their gold without adequate compensation to the people of Ikolomani in Kakamega, they stopped it. People organized themselves and said no. And this is what I'm urging the people of Turkana to do. I know I'll be accused of incitement. I'm guilty as charged. I have a responsibility to speak for the people of Turkana. They cannot allow William Ruto to take their oil and go with it, when this oil and its proceeds can change their lives forever, to get good schools, good roads, water, good hospitals, and change Turkana to be another Dubai. The people of Turkana must rise up to the occasion and say no. Finally, let me say I've heard Hassan Omar of UDA saying that people have been radicalized, and asking what people have done to William Ruto, or what William Ruto has done to the people. I want to say, Hassan Omar, you are the ones radicalizing the people of Kenya. When you ask Churchill to kill the matatu industry and replace it with BTR buses, what are you doing? That is radicalization. The matatu industry employs many people. Many Kenyans have invested in the matatu industry. And you are issuing a public statement asking the Minister for Transport to kill the matatu industry and replace it with the BTR. You are actually radicalizing the matatu owners, the drivers, the touts, and all the people who work out a living from the matatu industry. You are asking what William Ruto did to people of Kenya, why they are so angry. You should know because you live in Kenya. He abducted and killed their children. People are still in pain. He has levied taxes that are unreasonable to the people of Kenya. He has refused to pay pending bills to the people of Kenya. Their properties are being auctioned. He has made bribery a way of life. He is mocking Kenyans by displaying millions of shillings in public when people have no food on the table. That is what William Ruto has done to the people of Kenya. If you didn't know, I heard you ask that question. I have that answer for you. And you're asking why people are radicalized. It is the government that is radicalizing the people. The kind of statements of P.O. Adai and John Badi are making, the so-called experts, are radicalizing the people of Kenya. And they will be radicalized because that is the way the government wants things to be done. Let me, again, is my very wish, respond to Kipchumba Murkomen. I've heard him. At any one time, there is a problem in Kenya trying to blame President Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua. Kipchumba Murkomen, for the record, Uhuru Kenyatta is not the president of Kenya. William Ruto is the president of Kenya. The buck stops with him. He cannot blame Uhuru Kenyatta for mismanaging the country, for destroying a country that was up and running. President Uhuru Kenyatta handed over a country that is working, with a working education system, working health system, with a country that was secure. 4 years down the line, there is no country. You keep on blaming President Uhuru Kenyatta, and you are asking matatu owners, why didn't they go on strike when Uhuru Kenyatta was president? When Uhuru Kenyatta was president, fuel went only to 135 shillings. We are now over 240. The people of Kenya know the difference. And again, Ruto is president. Let him run the country. And you cannot keep on anytime there is a small problem. You start comparing the reign of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. President Uhuru Kenyatta told the people of Kenya that his then deputy could not be trusted to run a country. We disobeyed him. We refused to buy that argument, I included. We are now paying for that. Uhuru knew because he had stayed with him. So Kipchumba Murkomen, leave Uhuru Kenyatta alone. He is not the president of Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta is retired. Let Ruto carry his cross. He has mismanaged the country. When the country is burning, despite having been properly briefed that there are problems, and Kenya will come to a standstill, he left on an overseas trip in a private jet, I am told the most luxurious in the world, where you are paying 5 million shillings per hour. That jet that he left with is the epitome of luxury, with a full bedroom and a massage parlor and a spa with a jacuzzi, steam, sauna, and the massage parlor has 4 girls from Seychelles. He is enjoying when Kenyans are struggling in air. And then you are asking Kenyan that people have a problem with William Ruto because he's a Kalenjin. Kipchumba Murkomen, if you have forgotten, nobody has any problem with the Kalenjin nation. When the people of Kenya elected William Ruto as president, they knew he's a Kalenjin. If they had a problem with the Kalenjins, they would not have elected him. Nobody has a problem with William Ruto because he's a Kalenjin. People have a problem with William Ruto because he's incompetent. And he's not what he promised the people of Kenya to be. He has killed their children. He has abducted their children. He has ruined the economy. He has run down all businesses. He has taken over every business in the country. Banking, insurance, hospitality, aviation, medical, education. He is in competition with the Kenyan people for businesses, and he has run out all Kenyan businesses from business. So when you come and tell us that people did not oppose Uhuru Kenyatta, they are opposing William Ruto because he's a Kalenjin. When we elected him, we knew he was a Kalenjin. And nobody has a problem with the Kalenjin nation. It's a very dignified community with good people. People with proven track record who have served this country with this distinction. People don't have a problem with the Kalenjin nation. They have a problem with William Ruto. It's unfortunate he's a Kalenjin. There's nothing we can do about it. But don't tell the people of Kenya that. That is thinking people are stupid. People are not. People are very intelligent. And you cannot trivialize such a national crisis into tribalism. Oh, people have a problem with Ruto because he's a Kalenjin. No. It's not the Kalenjins who have stolen from the people of Kenya. It's not the Kalenjins who have killed our children. It's not the Kalenjins who are making profit from fuel to the disadvantage of the Kenyan people. Please spare us that narrative. It cannot work. As for regarding Gachagua, you keep on threatening me so that I can keep quiet. Please be informed that I'll speak for the people of Kenya, and I'll speak the truth. And have a responsibility to tell the people of Kenya the truth. Yesterday, it was a circus. When there is such a national crisis, William Ruto is out of the country. He designates a blogger, Dennis Itumbe, to chair a meeting of such serious issue. The transport officials who were there were shocked that a meeting attended by the CS for National Treasury, the CS for Transport, and the CS for Energy and Petroleum was being chaired by a blogger, Dennis Itumbe. That is how casual William Ruto treats the people of Kenya. When the whole country is at standstill, the economy is paralyzed, nothing is going on in the country, he has the audacity to designate a blogger to chair a meeting to unlock the crisis. And that is a problem we have with the country. And many people have been asking me, how did we get here? And I have told them, William Ruto surrendered the leadership of the country to a blogger called Dennis Itumbe, a standard 2 dropout called Oscar Sudi, a standard 6 dropout called Farouk Kibet. Those are the people who run the country. Kindiki was in the country. He was not asked to chair the meeting. He's just another flower girl. The president doesn't think much of him. He asked Dennis Itumbe to go and chair the meeting. And that is what has been happening. And yesterday, principal secretaries and CEOs from the mountain called me crying that Dennis Itumbe is harassing them to raise $1 billion shillings to fund the Olkalau by-election. And every PS from the mountain has been forced to produce 20 million shillings to go and fund Olkalau by-election. Every CEO from the mountain has been asked to give 30 million shillings to fund the Olkalau by-election. And they are crying because they had to borrow similar amounts for the Bere by-election. Because these PSs and CEOs are arguing that ordinarily they would look for this money from contractors. But they cannot. William Ruto is the one who gives all the businesses to their state departments and their state corporations and deals with the contractors directly. So these PSs, these CEOs cannot ask for money from any contractor because they are dealing directly from William Ruto. So from Bere, they had to borrow the money from their friends. They are yet to pay. Now they are being intimidated. Dennis Itumbe has summoned them to an office. And you can't believe it, that the office that was purchased by government for retired President Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, the greatest president Kenya has ever had, that office where Kibaki used to sit is where Dennis Itumbe is sitting. He is sitting on the chair Mwai Kibaki was sitting on. He is using the office that was being occupied by Mwai Kibaki. What disrespect to Mwai Kibaki and to the people of Kenya, that a blogger has been allocated the office that was occupied by the third president of the Republic of Kenya. And that is where the PSs and the CEOs of parastatals are being summoned by Dennis Itumbe And he calls the president and puts him on speakerphone and says, I have told them your message. They are preparing. There's a lot of intimidation. PSs are crying. CEOs of parastatals are crying because of the level of extortion by William Ruto through Dennis Itumbi to fund by elections in the mountain. This Dennis Itumbi, a blogger, is the one in charge of government, not Kindiki. When Ruto goes out of the country, he leaves Dennis Itumbi in charge. And you saw yesterday, the CS National Treasury is a very senior cabinet secretary with executive powers. But the meeting he is in is being chaired by Dennis Itumbi. Ordinarily, that meeting should have been chaired by the deputy president, the fake one. Or, at least, the head of the public service, Felix Kosgei. But William Ruto, because of despising the people of Kenya, designates a blogger, Dennis Itumbi, to chair a meeting to unlock a crisis in his country when he is wallowing in luxury, in private jets, being massaged in air. That is the kind of joke that we have in our country. I want to ask the PSs and the CEOs not to give that money for Olkalau and to go to their offices and work. They are telling me they have been told to camp in Olkalau to go and campaign. Most of them are saying they don't even know how to campaign. They have never participated in politics. Each has been allocated a polling station and told to give money and go and campaign for the UDA candidate in Olkalau. They are all working under Dennis Itumbi, a blogger. He is in charge of PSs and CEOs of parastatals. It's the greatest joke in the history of Kenya that a blogger is in charge of PSs and CEOs of state corporations, that a blogger is chairing a meeting attended by the CS National Treasury, Energy and Petroleum, and the CS for Transport and Infrastructure. That is how casual William Ruto treats the people of Kenya and the challenges that they face. But of course, the worst joke is Kipchumba Murkomen. He's the worst CS Interior we have seen since independence. He's such a joke. You know, even if William Ruto wanted a college to be CS Interior, why can't you look for a serious, mature fellow? Why do you give the job to a CS who is childish and juvenile? A fellow who reduces a national crisis into a tribal joke. You know, that is how serious the situation back home is. So let me ask the officials of the transport sector who have said they will negotiate with the government. I hope they will not be compromised. I hear yesterday Dennis Itumbi tried to give them 500,000 shillings, 7 of them, they refused. I hope they have not been given more. I want to give them the benefit of doubt and believe they have not been compromised. Let them go to these negotiations with an open mind. First, they must demand that the bad fuel, the low-quality fuel, must be removed from the market. They must demand that William Ruto must forego his profit. They must demand that VAT must be brought to zero. They must demand that the 7 shillings for fuel levy must be removed. If they do that, fair enough, we proceed. If they are compromised and agree that everything is okay, if they will be contented with the 10 shillings, then ourselves on coming back, we'll have to consult with the other leaders in the United Alternative Government and decide the way forward for the people of Kenya. So I needed to talk about those few things because it's important that we let the people of Kenya know what is happening. And I really urge the people of Turkana to wake up and say no. They cannot allow theft of a God-given natural resource that would have benefited the people of Turkana to benefit one William Ruto and his company, Gulf Energy. It is immoral, it's unacceptable, and all Kenyans must support the people of Turkana. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.